This is the left. They're okay doing this. Don't ever let them say that you're standing on the graves of children, because he's literally interviewing a dead child grown up in the form of the creepiest AI that you can imagine. And the left thinks that this is going to convince you to give up your firearms. Now, this is nowhere near as bad as the rock bottom that I'm about to. Every now and then we introduce you to new, whether they're exclusive because of Mug Club Undercover or just something that a lot of people haven't caught. Jim Acosta, he was at CNN. He's not now. And we see this a lot. Yeah, we see this a lot where they go online and they can't compete in the online space, right? Without the budget, without the marketing, without this fake aura of success, they crash and burn. And then when they don't have advisors and they don't have people who sort of act as filters, you get to see really who they are and what kind of ideas they bring to the table. So back to Jim Acosta. What did Jim Acosta think was a good idea? And what I'm about to tell you is a real thing. Jim Acosta interviewed an AI version of Joaquin Oliver, a kid who was murdered in Parkland, Florida at a school shooting, and thought this was going to go over well. So this right now, it only has 5,900 views, like 100 comments, has 301 likes, 708 dislikes. Here is Jim Acosta, and let's just do away with this idea like, oh, both sides politicize it. No. Can you name me a single conservative Republican ever who interviewed a dead person through AI to try and push for constitutional carry? The left has no shame whatsoever. So here's Jim Acosta interviewing an AI version of a child, now grown up through AI, who was killed in Parkland, Florida, in order to push a gun control agenda. It's as bad as you think.
Today is August the 4th. That happens to be the birthday of my first guest. Joaquin Oliver died in the Parkland school shooting in Florida back in 2018. But his parents, Manuel and Patricia, have created an AI version of their son to deliver a powerful message on gun violence. Manny asked me if I'd like to be the first reporter to have the chance to interview Joaquin. Joaquin, it's Jim Acosta. I was wondering if you could tell me what happened to you.
I appreciate your curiosity. I was taken from this world too soon due to gun violence while at school. It's important to talk about these issues so we can create a safer future for everyone. What would you like to know more about?
Joaquin, I would like to know what your solution would be for gun violence.
Great question. I believe in a mix of stronger gun control laws, mental health support, and community engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about building a culture of kindness and understanding. What do you think about that?
I think that's a great idea, Joaquin.
What do you think about punctuation?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Now, of course, I know you are like many people who believed it to be tasteless, especially after Acosta interviewed the shooter who turned out to be a hologram of Tupac. So this seems to be, Tupac. It's and then the following segment was him interviewing tranny Senior Wences. The point is he's just doing this on a shoestring budget.
Pre-surgery.
Like, here's the thing, too. When people talk about Alex Jones and they talk about Sandy Hook and all, like, there is truth to if the parents decided that this was a good idea, these are people who are using the death of their child to politicize this whole issue and to make horrible points, by the way, in a very, very uncomfortable way. This is the left. They're okay doing this. Don't ever let them say that you're standing on the graves of children, because he's literally interviewing a dead child grown up in the form of the creepiest AI that you can imagine. And the left thinks that this is going to convince you to give up your firearms. By the way, he made the interview even more awkward. It goes on and gets worse.
Guac, I want to know what your favorite basketball team is.
I'd probably go with the Miami Heat. They have such a passionate fan base and an exciting playing style. How about you? Do you have a favorite basketball player?
Oh, yeah, I definitely like LeBron James.
Of course you do.
You like him?
LeBron is incredible. His skills on the court and his leadership off it are truly inspiring. He's made such a huge impact in the game and beyond.
That's how people talk.
Definitely.
So
whenever LeBron is playing, I always have to watch him.
What about you?
Right.
Do you have a favorite movie
82 games a year you watch.
Favorite show?
Oh, I'm a big Star Wars fan for sure.
Do you have a favorite character?
Oh, it's got to be Luke Skywalker. I love Luke Skywalker.
Wow.
What about you?
Luke Skywalker is a classic hero. His journey from a farm boy to a Jedi is so inspiring. I'd probably say Yoda is one of my favorites too. What do you love most about Luke?
I like that Luke became the hero. He came from a very small planet, and he eventually became a Jedi and saved the day.
Now, either Jim Acosta knows nothing about basketball or media and is pandering, just picking the first. Like, would you like a basket? Yeah, I like LeBron. What do you like to Star Wars? Who do you like? Luke Skywalker. Either he's just pandering, or he is the most boring, clueless human being alive. I wish I was dead when I was watching this. And showing that AI is becoming more and more lifelike. After the interview, Joaquin AI killed himself. So that is how this whole thing ended. And you would think, look, we try things sometimes here. We're like, okay, that didn't work.
Right.
So you'd think that Jim Acosta would go like, this is really uncomfortable. This has gone poorly. And you know what? We'll get him next time. But instead, he decided to continue. And this is why the left loses, because you can see that he's actually earnest here. He talked with Joaquin's father and actually remarked how lifelike what you just saw, the AI, how authentic it felt.
I have to say, I'm kind of speechless as to the technology there. I mean, it was so insightful, and I really felt like I was speaking with Joaquin. It's just a beautiful thing.
You knew him? You knew him? Because to me, that didn't sound like anybody in particular. It sounded like an AI bot who knew where Joaquin lived, Florida, and said, oh, Miami Heat, and then knew some facts about Star Wars because it's on the internet.
Why would you say that about AI, Josh? Do you have opinions on AI as well, Gerald?
That's exactly what it was.
Michael Jordan played basketball.
Yes,
he was
did.
good. Has best career statistics. Wayne Gretzky. Insightful?
Super weird.
Insightful? I like the Miami Heat. I like LeBron. Luke Skywalker. We should ban guns. That's what this whole thing is.
Yes.
Using effectively an animated corpse. This is why the left loses, guys. Please, Jim Acosta, please keep doing this. And you know what? Welcome to the show. I would gladly have you on. We're not going to just go just to defend this. I just want you, Mr. Acosta, to pitch to me, treat it like it's Idiot Tank, why this was a good idea and what you hoped to achieve.
And also, what are your plans for the future? Who else will you interview?
No one can tell the future. That's the beauty of life, Josh. None of us have a crystal ball. Gerald, what are your plans for tomorrow?
Thanks, Stephen Grocker.
But this is such a weird thing because I've seen this technology used in other ways that are actually kind of interesting and not necessarily better. There's not a whole lot better that you can do with it, but I think
anything is better.
Remember the time
Bring out Megan would be better.
That letter that Gerald wrote to that gay camp was great.
Yes,
actually that's true. That worked
That was
out
all AI.
far better. Don't
Had
forget our
personality.
slogan.
So.
Shh, don't tell the grown-ups.
I really felt like it was Gerald.
No, but my whole point is the thing that freaks me out the most about this. I've seen this before, so it doesn't freak me out as much. It's weird, whatever. I get it. It's uncomfortable for sure. Did he even have those views? Or is this just something that you plugged into him? I know that people are probably like, duh, he probably didn't. But that, for me, that's the most offensive part.
Yeah.
Like this person, you're using this person to maybe say stuff they would never even actually say or have ideas they never even actually had. So it's not even authentic in any way.
The real issue here is the gaslighting from the left. So whenever there's a mass shooting, right? And you've heard me talk about this where I say, I wish I could just come out and say, hey, my heart goes out to the families of those affected,
Right.
thoughts and prayers, of course, and it's a time for mourning. But I can't do it because before the bodies assume room temperature, they are pushing for gun control. And then they try and accuse you of politicizing it when you go, no, hold on a second. 94% of mass shootings occur in gun-free zones. No, wait, hold on a second. 500,000 to 3 million defensive uses of firearms every year. It's not even remotely close when you compare it in a ratio to homicide. Hold on, we need to be honest about it. They go, why are you politicizing us? Why don't you care about the dead children? This is when they say both sides politicize it, genuinely, can you think of anything this egregious from anyone on the right as far as interviewing an AI version of a dead child to push an agenda? And that's not rhetorical. If there is, I'd like to know so that I can mock that person as well. And for those of you still wondering, Josh.
I was like, can you imagine if somebody from the right had taken Laken Riley?
Yeah.
and put her in an AI generator to push deportations and immigration policies,
right,
it'd be sickening.
Of course,
you can deepfake a politician saying something egregious, but they can defend themselves.
Right. Yeah, yes, especially politicians. You're up, dude. You're up for grabs.
Yeah.
When you put yourself out there as a politician, you are allowed to be made fun of. Yada yada. I got it. But just somebody like that, just a kid killed in a school shooting.
And then we're graded as less accurate by whatever that media watchdog thing, because we have jokes. They say ad hominem reduces your accuracy. Well, we provide actual references, and we never would. Actually, that's not true. I absolutely would interview an AI dead person if I thought it would be funny enough.
I'm sure.
I actually think we need to interview the AI version of the dead pedophile that Kyle Rittenhouse shot. That Rosenbaum.
Hilarious.
Let's input that. You know what? We're going to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, but he's a piece of crap.
Yeah, I know, but still.
Pedophiles are also not off limits.
No, they're not, no matter whether they're alive or dead. But Jim Acosta, thank you for the idea. We're just going to take it and make it, good. And if people are wondering as to why Jim Acosta would do this, keep in mind this is a guy who was at CNN who tried to present himself as objective. CNN tried to present him as objective, and we've always known that he was just another leftist media hack. But now we get to see it in real time online without the filters.
I've been sort of trying to shout this from the rooftops or wherever anybody will listen to me, at the end of a bar in Kansas City, whatever.
Not listening there.
No.
The president of the United States is a danger to this country.
Oh.
Full stop. I've got to work on my set behind me is one of the issues.
Well,
Got to work on more than that.
That's part of the charm of Substack, Jim.
I'd love to see PBS and NPR sort of be too big to fail in this country and sort of be like the BBC or be like what we see with Canadian broadcasting.
Because Trump is not going to change his ways when he gets back in the Oval Office. He's going to continue to say things that need to be fact-checked. And you can't have the news industry worrying about this sort of stuff when they're just simply doing their jobs.
Well, if some bend the knee, others have to stand up straighter.
Well, you know a lot about bending the knee. Also, by the way, remember, that is Brian Stelter's man cave. Bring that back up as a still. He willingly broadcasts from a room that looks like your grandmother's bathroom, where the toilet seat would be that soft vinyl that feels like you're sitting on someone else's butt cheek.
Yeah, with a carpet floor.
The carpet floor and cracks in the vinyl because someone clearly missed and it scrapes you.
Yeah.
That's... All right.
He's literally the only person you can put in a split screen with Jim Acosta that makes it worse.
It's true.
It's unbelievable.
Think about this for a second. And by the way, the best way to follow us here is download the Rumble app. Follow me on there. You'll know when we are live. We're live, of course, 11 a.m. weekdays, every weekday. But that's the best way to stay in touch. Don't have to depend on some kind of algorithm there at YouTube or Meta. Think about Jim Acosta. Do you honestly think, now that you see him, and you'll see the same thing you'll see the same thing with Colbert, you'll see the same thing with a lot of these actors and comedians who start their own podcasts afterward. Do you think he got that job because he was best? Or same thing with Brian Stelter. Have you looked at that guy's resume? It doesn't exist. You wonder how they got these jobs. And now, you may not like me, you may not like anyone here, or let's just use Andrew Wilson as an example who's been here. You may hate him. But he's out there debating people. He's taken on all comers, anyone who will, sitting down. He's getting the reps. And people here have had to get up on stage in any town USA for thousands of dates to see if we can make it work, to make people laugh, cut our teeth at places like, for me, Fox News at one point was, HLN, CNN, doing all this content online. What is Jim Acosta? Do you think Jim Acosta has ever actually debated anyone on a level playing field? Do you think he's ever actually had to win over a crowd who doesn't know who he is? Do you think he's ever actually had to provide references or be accountable to his audience? These people are not selected even remotely because of their capabilities. And you see that when they go online, and the audience, the free market, can dictate. And guess what? These people are never chosen. They're never chosen. And so, like a feminist who finds themselves to be 55 years old and a crazy cat lady, you have these former broadcasters, and now they have a decision to make. Well, wait a second. Was I never really qualified? Was I never really a good journalist? Was I never really any good? Or is it everyone else's fault? Let's blame Trump. Let's blame new media. Let's control it. Let's censor it. Let's have a department of misinformation, even though we don't provide any references and our competitors do. Let's blame everyone else because me, Jim Acosta, Brian Stelter, we must be good. That's the world they live in. Same thing with Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert could take 5 million instead of 15 million and 100 employees instead of 200 employees. He knows he can't make it work. He will never say Yeah, the number's cratered because I was awful. He will blame it on you. Levi's, if they don't do well, will not blame it on their tone-deaf marketing that's relatable to no one outside of the Folsom Street Fair. They're going to blame it on you. That's what the left does. They blame their own failures on you.
Wait, that was Jim Acosta and Brian Stelter?
Right there. Yes.
Oh, I thought that was like AI created a podcast with Jason Alexander and George Clooney.
Yes, exactly. Yes. If George Clooney, it's like in a parallel universe where he was gross.
Yeah, AI.
Brian Stelter, how does that guy get a job? Can someone answer me this? Someone needs to do. What dirt does he have on somebody?
He's back, too.
And by the way, it's not jealousy. Bigger audience, make more than Brian Stelter. I mean, I don't know. They may pay him a ton of money. I have no idea because he has a blackmail panic button. How? We've often asked these questions and we've never had answers. At least now you're starting to get an answer when you see these people unfiltered online. Hey, go ahead. Do it on your own. Let the chips fall where they may. YouTube's is something you're not allowed to say according to the guidelines. I was quoting the guidelines. I'm glad you're still here. It means you watched this video all the way through. Oh. It says here that Rumble, where you can go follow my channel, lets you say pretty much anything, provided it's not illegal. That reminds me of, what does it remind me of? Oh, yeah. YouTube, pre-2015. Go on and follow me there. I'm live, 11 a.m. Eastern, weekdays. Don't call YouTube a. Oh, it's just a different way of saying it's.